Frenchman Gilles Simon has been a fixture on the ATP World Tour since 2002. With his mix of athleticism, talent and intelligence, Simon has won many admirers throughout his career. An impressive run to the Wimbledon quarter-finals this year confirmed that Gilles is playing some of the best tennis of his life.
For me, it's actually a surprise that he didn't do well on grass before this year.
His game has been able to translate so well on the grass court seasons, has had some healthy results.
I'm sure that in the future he's going to be very, very difficult to play on grass.
He's smart, he defends well, and he's been so consistent throughout the last few years that it's just incredible.
If you have never played Gilles, you don't know how good he is, because I've been playing him many times. And he's such a good player, and he's very, very solid. He's taking down some big names in his career.
And he's not a guy that just walks into any tournament without, total focus. He's there to win, but you've got to beat him. And if you're not prepared to stay out there and work hard, you're probably on the losing end of the result.
A talented all-court player, Simon has a reputation for being as tactically aware as anyone on the ATP World Tour. That's because he analyses his opponent before and during a match.
When I see a player, I see him always with these strengths, with the weaknesses, what he's trying to do on the tennis court. Always, I always want to know, to get into his head and to know what he wants to do, what's the idea when he goes on court. And I feel that when you find this, then it's much more easier when you have to face him, because you know exactly where he wants to bring you on the court, what he wants to do with you, and then you are always one step ahead. I pay maybe sometimes even too much attention to the details. I think that's why this is one of my strengths. I think I know about tennis like a few people, because I watch everything on the court.
Having been as high as 6 in the world, Simon has consistently competed at the highest level. After 13 years and 12 titles as a professional, he remains a force.
Gilles Simon for me is a great player. He was always top 20, top 15, he broke the top 10. Come on.
Gilles has the ability to just, it doesn't look like he's going to go for a big one, but he's got the ability to accelerate that racket head and really get some quickness on the ball.
He's a great tennis player, and I think he's a better, he's got a better mind for tennis than most people out there. So he outthinks his opponents, and he just kind of works them and just out-competes them, I think, sometimes. And it's quite the quality to have, and it's fun to see in it.
He's 30, but as fit as he's ever been. And that remains one of the Frenchman's biggest assets, even against much younger players.
We played a very long match in Marseille, and he won in the third set 6-3. He's a very talented player, he can run all day, he's very fast. I had the feeling that he can play for like 10 more sets.
I pay much more attention to my body. I have to work a lot on the fitness for my body to be ready, and then less on the court. So yeah, it's really different. I feel it. I still feel that when I'm able to play, I can run as before, as long as before, as fast as before. It just takes more time to get ready.
This is a fine era for Gallic tennis, with 10 Frenchmen currently in the ATP World Tour Top 100. But it's Gilles Simon who leads the way at number 11.
I don't decide if the other French are playing good at the same time, but it's a nice feeling because we know each other. It's easier to compare to them. Okay, if they do it, I can do it, because I know that we are so close. When we practice, they don't play better than me, and then that's why also when one is playing good, the other one starts to play good also, and I think it's really helping.
Next week on ATP World Tour Uncovered, triple action. We're at tournaments in Bastad, Bogota and Umag. And Croatian legends past and present, why one European nation keeps on creating champions. Don't forget to log on to the all-new ATPWorldTour.com for your 24/7 breaking news, and talk with us on Facebook and Twitter in English and Spanish. See you next week.